Hey guys, how are we going? Hope we're having a lovely day. I'm back today for another mascara comparison. I did one a couple of months ago when I got rid of my old mascara and started using my Revolution Big Lash one. So as it's time to get rid of this one, I thought I'd film another comparison with the one that I'm moving into my regular use. So this one I have used once before in I think it was a Get Ready With Me, where I tested out makeup from my birthday haul, I think it was, and it's the Sephora V for Volume Mascara. So as you can see, I'm looking a little bit odd today. I've done all of my other makeup, but I haven't done any eye makeup. I'm actually not going to use any eyeshadow or eyeliner today, just so that I can do a true comparison of these like I did in my last video. So let's go straight into this one. I've been using the Revolution Big Lash Mascara for a couple of months now. It's not bad. It goes on fairly easy. It comes off fairly easy. The only issue I really have with it is with the brush, because it's enormous, and I normally do prefer a bit of a bristled brush as opposed to one of the plastic brushes, and I do normally like something that's got a little bit of a smaller wand on it, just so that I can get into my corners. So I'm going to scooch in a little bit just so we can get a good view. Bring my mirror over and let's get into this. So I'm pretty sure if you've watched any of my other Get Ready With Me's or anything like that, you'll have seen me use this mascara, and like it's not bad, it's pretty good. One difference that I had found between this and the previous one that I was using, which was an Essence one, was that I tend to, I think just because of how big the wand is, when I'm putting it on, it tends to push my lashes up, and then I get mascara, like little specks all over my eyelid. And the same with my lower lashes as well, which it's a lot more noticeable with the lower ones, because the wand is so big. It's really difficult to get in there without touching any of the skin, so. So one other thing I had noticed about the wand that I don't particularly like is that there are very few bristles on the end. You can see that they taper down towards the tip, and it does make it really difficult for getting the little baby lashes. Like, understandably, you do need some of the bristles to be tapered so that obviously you don't poke yourself in the eye. But it does make it very difficult because you basically just end up stabbing at the inner corner lashes with a blunt tip. But like, it's not bad for the price that I paid for it. I think it's pretty reasonable. It was honestly a little bit more than I was looking to spend, given that my previous favorite mascaras, and I actually did buy a replacement, was this one. But it does go on fairly easily, and it comes off fairly easily, which are definite benefits as well. So now I'm going in with the other eye with my Sephora V for Volume. This one does actually have a really big wand as well, but it does have more of the natural bristles as opposed to the synthetic ones, like the plastic bristles. So I don't know if you can see them there. They're both about the same size. This one, which is the Sephora one, the bristles are like laid out in the swirling pattern, whereas with this one there, so I'm going to pop that one down. With the Revolution one, they're laid out in terms of there's strips along 4 sides of it. So there are some, it's really difficult to kind of pick it up on the camera without seeing anything else. So you can see there that there's a gap there. There are gaps on 4 sides of that. So let's go in, otherwise this video is going to be an hour long. I mean, it's not bad. It's applying about as well as the other one does. It's not, at the moment, clumping my lashes as much, which I think is why I do prefer more of a bristled brush as opposed to a plastic brush. I just find that the bristles help to naturally separate my lashes a bit more. I always hate doing my left eye. I just feel like I can never get the very inner corner lashes with the way that I've got my hand kind of turned around back to front. So maybe next time I do one of these, I'll just film my left eye with the mascara that I'm used to using and try the new one on the right to make it easier. Although I suppose it does make for good reviewing, seeing, you know, a new mascara tried out on the more difficult eye. So I've definitely managed to get the inner corner lashes a lot easier with this brush because the bristles do go pretty much right up to the end, so the bristles are a lot longer on the end than with the other brush. There is definitely smudging on my lash line on both eyes, but the wands for both of these are both fairly big compared to, you know, what I'm used to. So that's it there up against the tip of my finger. That is still a pretty big wand, but hey, it's not like it was that much of an expensive mascara. So I have a few errands to run today. I have some tidying up around home to do. I think they've both gone on and they're both looking pretty even at the moment. There's definitely some spots here on my inner corner lashes where the Revolution hasn't caught as well as on this side, and I think that is just with the shape of the brush. There's not any, you know, one that's definitely more defined than the other. There's not one that's more, you know, has more volume than the other. I think they're both pretty much even at the moment. So I'm going to tidy up any mascara that's on the skin. I'm going to run about my day and do what I have to do, but I will be back for a check-in tonight and removal to see how we go. Well, it has been a long day, but I'm back for the check-in and removal of the 2 mascaras that I've tried on. So I was just having a quick look in the mirror a while ago and I can see that underneath here there is a tiny little bit of smudging on both sides. You know, it's been a really long day, so I was kind of anticipating something like this happening. If one had been severely more smudged than the other, then that would be a definite, you know, pro-con kind of situation, but they're both kind of a bit equal at the moment. I don't see any flaking under the side where I had used the Sephora, but I do see a little bit. I'll see if I can pick it up. I can't see it on my hand now. There was a little bit on the side where I had used the Revolution Big Lash, but nothing too substantial. I don't see any more smudging on my eyelids, so, you know, win-win for both. I think that they're both pretty reasonable and pretty similar. Just looking now, there's still the definite, you can see that the lashes on the inner corner here have not been coated, but I think that's, you know, a brush issue and not necessarily to do with the mascara. They're both still looking, you know, pretty good. They're both long, they're both defined, neither of them are really particularly clumpy. I'm happy with both of those. I think price-wise, the V for Volume might have ended up working out slightly cheaper, but I did get it in a gift set with a few other things, so I'm not even sure if I can buy that individually. So let's go in. I'm going to take this off. It's just after 5. It's not even really that late in the day, but it's been a really long day. It's starting to get really cold here of an afternoon, and I'm just ready to have a bath, have dinner, and go to bed. So I'm going in with my simple micellar cleansing water, same as I did last time. 2 of my normal, you know, just the reusable cotton roundy things. I don't even know what they're made out of. So let's go in with the Revolution first. Actually, bugger it, I may as well do both at the same time. Just gonna hold it there for a second. Okay. Yep, it's definitely both coming off. So we have the Sephora on this side, Revolution on this side. This one does look a little bit more smudged on this side, but it always does, and it is always fairly easy to get off. But you can see this one has smudged fairly well as well. Actually, it looks like this one might be removing slightly easier. Like, it's not necessarily smudging as much, but more of it has been removed in the 2 swipes that I've done from this eye than from this eye. But it's not like I'm having to absolutely scrub either of them to get them off. I've had some in the past, and I know that with my all-time favorite Essence mascara, it is a lot of work to get it off. It's a lot of work to apply it, and it is a lot of work to get it off, but it is absolutely beautiful, and I do love wearing it. All right, let's do the lower lashes now. I think that there is only the tiniest amount left on the Sephora side anyway. Majority of it had actually come off when I did the top lashes. So this was the bottom of the Revolution side, and this was the bottom lashes of the Sephora side. So majority of it had actually come off when I had done the top lashes. So it looks like the Sephora one actually removes better. I mean, they're both pretty easy to remove. It's just the Sephora one, the V for Volume, is, you know, just not quite as messy coming off. So they still both remove fairly easily. You know, I've only had to make a few passes and a few swipes. But the Revolution just tends to spread a little bit more. Alrighty, so that's it. They've both been removed. Last thoughts, I think that they are both pretty good. They're both reasonably priced, I guess. I mean, this is for something that I could, you know, I have to order online. I can't exactly find this one at Priceline, although they do have another Revolution one at Priceline. You know, it's still pretty good. It is fairly pricey in terms of ones that I can get from Priceline. I mean, there are others that are a lot cheaper. Not that I've really given too many of them a go, but you know, it's okay. But for something that I'm really only using for, say, 3 or 4 months before I'm throwing out, it is a little bit more than I would normally spend on something like this. Like, this is the kind of product where I'd definitely be wanting to wear it every day, and given the current situation at the moment where I haven't been out of the home, like out of home every day, even every week, sometimes I've, you know, sometimes only worn makeup once every 2 or 3 weeks, and it sitting here in my drawer being, you know, used a couple of times, it does feel like a little bit of a waste to throw this out that I haven't used it that many times. But I have had it open for a couple of months, and for hygiene purposes, it is time to move the new one in. They both went on pretty easily. They both came off pretty easily. The Revolution was a little bit trickier to put on, particularly with the inner corner lashes. It was also a little bit more messy to remove, but they both removed pretty easily in the end. It's not like I was having to scrub and scrub to get it off. I think I would be pretty happy to have continued to use either of these, but at the moment I will be sticking with the Sephora one. That's the one that will be in my drawer for the next few months. When this one is about to expire, I will actually compare this one to the Essence mascara that I previously compared with this one, a new tube obviously, but yeah, just to see how they go. As they stand, I would be happy with both of these. I probably do prefer the Sephora one just because of the brush, applicator, wand, whatever you'd like to call it. It just was a little bit easier to get all of my lashes, particularly the inner corner ones, and it also is slightly less messy to remove. But those are my final thoughts for both of these. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. But until then, I'll talk to you next time.